Hey guys, thanks for tuning back into the channel. So, did you know that there are alligators in central Alabama? This was something that I just learned and I'm still kind of blown away by. I had no idea. I mean, it makes sense, makes perfect sense. But look at that guy right there. 6, 7 footer. Just chilling in the lake, just right near the Alabama River. So, this is a 8-day vacation that me and Dewey took. It's we're calling this our Whirlwind Alabama adventure because we took off, started in the northwest side of the state, looped down to the Gulf Coast, and then back up out the northeast side. So we've got a little bit of overlanding, a lot of history. We went camping every night, and just seen as much as we possibly could. So if you're interested, give it a little watch and be sure to tell us what you think. And maybe you'll find some interesting things that you didn't know Alabama had to offer. We were blown away by this experience, and we are already planning on coming back. So thanks. So right off the bat, we got sidetracked and stopped at the David Crockett State Forest or State Park in Tennessee. So this is a beautiful Tennessee park as we're stopping along the trail, taking pictures and video. Dewey pointed out we stopped at the perfect time of year. It is mid-April, so everything is just starting to green up and get buds, but it's not full leaf, so you can see through the woods pretty well. I dig it. Being this was an unplanned stop, uh, we didn't want to waste a whole lot of time, but we also wanted to, check it out, and we stopped for a reason. See, we had to see what was all here. So, like, part of the Trail of Tears that the Native Americans had to walk to the west to the Indian reservations goes through this park. So that was the trail we were on earlier. But also, there was an old grist mill down here. I love old mills and things like that on the water. So we stopped down here. We love looking at finding rocks and looking at just checking out all kind of rocks and features that you can find in creeks and riverbeds. So we were down here just kind of enjoying the day. Okay, at the aviary portion, that's one of those black-faced vultures, nasty critter. Not real keen on them, but this barred owl over here. Hey, buddy. How do I zoom in? You're telling us all about it, aren't you? Hi. Oh, nice. Big old red-tailed hawk. What do you say, fella? Find any rabbits? No barn owl? Well, yeah, I think that's it for the birds. It's just an awesome tree. Looks like the museum might be closed. I don't know. Well, we can't hardly get a break from the rain. As soon as it gets nice, it stops raining and it starts right back up. Sure has a cozy little place. Crockett the Hunter. Oh, steer, turkey in there. So something that I thought was pretty cool was some of the recipes and factoids they had on the wall. How much meat you get from a bear, you know, and deer jerky, and how to just recipes on how to make stuff and how to produce things. And then Dewey comes out of the restroom and says, "Is there a recipe in your restroom?" So I go into men's. There wasn't anything.
Nope.
And then I go over here to the women's.
Well, there's a painting. Oops.
In the women's restroom, there is a recipe for roast coon and sweet taters. That is awesome. So something that I'm always fascinated by is old fire towers and the service that they provided. So once we left the David Crockett State Park and started on our way towards camp, there was this old fire tower on the way, so we had to stop and take a look. And it's like right in a cemetery. It's no longer used. I feel I should point that out, but it was still pretty cool. So when we left there, we ended up jumping on the Natchez Trace Parkway, which was pretty cool. I mean, it's the old Natchez Trace route. So we followed these bikes for a while, and it was spitting rain off and on. We fought rain almost all day this first day, but then we got down here towards camp, and give me a second and I will find the name. It's the Brunton Branch recreation area, and it's part of the Pickwick State Forest. I'll find this out. Okay, so that's how professional I am. This is part of the Pickwick Landing State Park, but it's across the Tennessee River from the Pickwick Landing State Park by the Pickwick Dam. So this is the Brunton Branch recreation area, and it is a primitive campground right on the Tennessee River. And for a primitive campground, this place was pretty awesome. Boat ramps, a shower house, hot shower, and flushing toilets, fish cleaning station. It was pretty awesome. Like, if I was going to go on a fishing trip, this would probably be a place that I would definitely stop and camp. So we got to the campsite, picked one out, bought it online, called the number, and paid for the site. And then it starts raining. So instead of setting up in the rain and trying to get something to eat, we decided to run into town. So we ran into Crump, Tennessee, and at Earls Grill, and this place was awesome. Look at this. That is a bloomin' bologna, which was fantastic. Pork tenderloin, which was really also very good. And then Dewey got the shrimp po' boy, and that was out of this world. And then here's peach cobbler for dessert. This place was awesome, hot rod themed. If you're in the area, absolutely stop. Crump, Tennessee, near Pickwick Dam. It's a must do. Great food, great atmosphere, everything.
Well, I must have taken a cue from old Bill from Cottywomple Overland, because here we are setting up in the dark. That's a pretty common Cottywomple theme. Well, good morning. So, as you can see, camp back here. Dewey's in a tent. We've got all of our clothing and stuff in those vacuum bags, so she's pulling all the air out of that and taking care of the bedding. I'm making some coffee, some hot cocoa for her. But overall, it's a good first night. New air mattress, so I'm trying to figure out the air pressure, to be comfortable. We weren't really level either. That never helps. But you saw a little bit of when we pulled in here. Man, it was a full moon last night, just bright as could be. But we were right on the Tennessee River, at the Brunton Branch State Recreation Area. It's a primitive campground. They have like 30 some sites here. And then they have another area farther south on the other side of the river. It's actually a lake right here. So there's a dam and whatever. So this section of the river forms a lake. but it was after tax. With my military discount, it was $17 a night to camp here. Like, I'll come back here. This is awesome. Right on the water. Fantastic. I don't fish a lot, but I want to fish more. This is definitely a place I'd come fish and camp for the weekend or whatever. Shower house with the bathroom with shower house. Fantastic. There's a little playground here. I'm blown away. This is a nice place. But I'm going to get back to the coffee. It should be ready by now. Well, as per usual, we pulled an audible on our way to Shiloh National Battlefield, and we are stopping at a flea market because why not? There's treasures to find, and we're trying to find treasures, right? Stuff and things. So we're in Crump. Isn't that what it is? Crump, Tennessee?
Yes.
Yeah, same place where we ate dinner last night, and I've got some pictures of that up. So we're going to check out this little flea market. Rawhide Flea Market. What are we on? Highway 64?
Yes.
Got insurance? You can put insurance on people like that. Yeah, that would be our luck. Get out there trying to start it, and we wouldn't have enough funds.
Have that. That I'm unsure of. So I was thinking 20 on that. And then where are you on that?
So once we left the flea market, Shiloh was really only minutes down the road. It wasn't very far. And this is a kind of a breathtaking experience. If you've ever been to Gettysburg, this place is set up pretty similar, being also in a Civil War battlefield. All of the markers and cannons are faced like if you're reading the marker, you're facing the direction that they were fighting.
Yep.
It was
good to see the homeboys representing.
Pretty awesome. And not like good awesome, but just to be there and see everything and walk around the grounds and see what took place everywhere. So if you ever get the chance to go to a Civil War battlefield, I highly recommend it, just for the historic, just to not to relive anything, but just to see what some of these guys kind of went through and hear the stories and read the markers and just remember what we went through in this country. So this is not to be too somber, but this is the cemetery on the battlefield, and it was it was large.
This is a 65 That's the one. The tiny file.
And then it turns out it's been discovered that there are some ancient native burial grounds or mounds within the Shiloh Military Park. So that was kind of interesting too. But we ended up leaving Shiloh and made our way toward Bankhead National Forest. And if you want to see what happens on that adventure, you're going to have to stay tuned for part 2. That'll be coming next Sunday. Until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when the next video drops. And thanks for watching.